Happy birthday, everybody. Welcome to Seriously, where we take cereals seriously. My name is Alex, and I eat and review hundreds of cereals a year in order to help you get the most out of your cereal experience. Today on Seriously, we're exploring two interesting cereal flavors that have recently appeared on shelves at Walmarts across the country. Here's the first: Caramel Apple. Caramel Apple is a returning flavor from Walmart's Great Value brand, but I haven't officially reviewed it before, so I'm glad it's made its way back for us to try. And it's the perfect time of year for Caramel Apple, so I'm hoping this puts us in a fall mood. Here's the next one: Cookie Butter cereal. Cookie Butter is a brand new flavor attempt from Great Value, and I think, too, that it could be considered a fall-ish flavor. Cookie Butter itself gets its flavor from strong fall spices like cinnamon and nutmeg and mace and ginger. Those sound like home-run cereal flavors to me, too. But let me just take a moment and say that I can't be the only one to find Cookie Butter itself to be a fascinating creation. My understanding, and please listen, correct me if I'm wrong, is that Cookie Butter was invented by literally grinding up those Biscoff-type cookies, along with more sugars and oils and such. Now that makes sense to me, and there are hundreds of home recipes you can find to make it that way at home yourself. But as I spent time researching Cookie Butter this week, I could not for the life of me find confirmation of whether or not that's still how the big manufacturers do it in their factories. Are they actually baking the cookies to completion, then grinding them up? Or are the big producers like Biscoff or Trader Joe's now just using the same ingredients that would make a cookie, but then mixing up the cookie butter before anything actually gets baked? Does anyone out there know the truth? I'd love for some insight. For what it's worth, I cannot imagine in my wildest dreams that Great Value is baking and then grinding cookies for this cereal. Instead, just like the Caramel Apple, I'm sure it's just some flavored dusting that will be bringing the taste to our cereal bowls. But what do you think? I'd love for you to let me know in the comments if you've tried these cereals and what you thought. Or if you haven't tried them, let me know if you think you're going to pick them up. Because maybe you've got the same questions as me. Will Great Value have a few fall-flavored winners on their hands? Or are these value cereals for a reason? Friends, it's time to eat some cereal. Hey, if you made it this far, I'm in shock. You're amazing. Would you do me one more favor? Would you like this video? That would really help me out. All right, I think I am ready. I have got my bowls, I got my spoon, I got my trusty milk, and of course, I've got the two cereals for today. Now, I think I am going to start in the order that I introduced them. I am going to begin with the Caramel Apple flavor. Like I said, this came back from last year, and I love the color scheme on the front. I hope it holds up to what that is showing, because those greens and reds, well, it looks a little bit like Christmas, but like a vibrant Christmas. So we're going to count that as fall. That's awesome. On the back of all these boxes, they always have, for Great Value cereals, like a little activity for kids. And this one is a Find the Difference. They've got all these fruits here, but what the heck? What is this thing? It's both a red and a green apple, like they couldn't decide. Is that supposed to be a caramel apple? And the fact that that's one of the differences, that the color palette is swapped, doesn't answer our question at all. Why did they go with both colors for this cereal? And is this a coconut? Is that a fruit? It probably is. There's so many things that are fruits nowadays. What an interesting assortment of choices for the back of this box. And I love my favorite thing is that they give kids the answers. That is so fun. All right, now let's finally open this box up. Wait, what in the world? Oh, okay, I made reference to there being two colors in here, but there are actually three colors in here. And I checked the box and they are officially on the box as well, so I can stop freaking out. But these are beautifully vibrant. They've got both apple colors. That is what's happening. Red and green apples here. And then a brown for the caramel, which is far too dark. It should be a lighter tan-ish. The only time I've ever eaten a cereal and wanted it to be more tan, because these brown ones are supposed to represent caramel, and they look like they're representing chocolate, which is not what I have signed up for. All right, let's give a try to Caramel Apple cereal from Great Value. Mild flavor. The flavor is very hard to perceive as anything else but sweet. I was expecting something far more bold than this flavor from the colors. Look at the colors. Maybe I need to try again. Let's give another try to Caramel Apple cereal from Great Value. I guess it's a little apple-y, sort of caramely, but barely. Well, we have got to put milk on these to see if it brings out anything at all. Ooh, as I mix them in, they get even more vibrant. I really like this color combination. It looks cool. Totally non-Christmassy. It looked green and red on the box. This is definitely green and pink. You know what this is? This makes me think of Carmela Crunch, Frankenberry, and Count Chocula mixed together. This cereal actually does a better job of representing the three colors of those cereals than the Monsters Frightful Friends that we reviewed a couple weeks ago. All right, I've talked long enough. Let's try caramel apple cereal from Great Value in milk. The milk worked a miracle here. I don't know what the problem was with it dry, but in the milk, it has far more apple flavor, at least. Let me give it one more try. Yeah, holy cow, it really needed the milk to bring it out. It is a fine enough apple flavor, but you know, the gold standard bearer of apple flavors is Apple Jacks. This gets nowhere near as good as that. Thank goodness that the milk came through for it, because I was ready to just chuck this stuff out the window. Now, it's not bad. I would give caramel apple cereal from Great Value a 2.5, straight down the middle of my rating system. Let us set that one to the side and give a try to the one that I was far more interested in, and maybe you are too, which is the cookie butter cereal. Now, quick, since we looked at the other one, let's take a look at the activity they've got here. Oh, okay, it's one of these like follow the lines thing and then put the number at the bottom. That's pretty cute. These are cute little animals. I don't know what they have to do with cookie butter. And of course, they have the answers on the side for kids that give up. All right, let's open these things up, see what they look like in a bowl. Well, I'll tell you what they look like. They look 100% like Golden Grahams. They even have the same kind of ridges as Golden Grahams on them. Not much of a smell to them. I was hoping for more of a fallish, spice-ish type of scent from them. I'm getting very little to nothing here. But let's wait no longer. Let us try cookie butter cereal from Great Value. Wow, what a taste! These are by far the most flavorful original flavor from Great Value that I have ever tried. They really pack a punch. Not as spice-driven as I was hoping. You know what's interesting? They're very buttery, like actual butter flavor. The weird thing is, cookie butter has nothing to do with real butter, except maybe in the baking of the cookies. But these are like butter forward. Boy, I wonder if butter is listed as one of the flavors. No, it is not individually listed. I can tell you what, though, they put butter flavor in this for sure. It's very sweet, much more sweet than like a Golden Grahams, because Golden Grahams have like a spray coating. These are definitely like a powdered coating that they're putting on this Graham cereal. It is more substantial than some of the Great Value cereals that use kind of a crispy rice base. This is definitely a wheat-based and corn-based cereal. The aftertaste that I'm getting is still that strong butter flavor. But I can tell you there are other things going on too. There is definitely a good saltiness to it. There are a little bit of those darker spice flavors. Not enough as what I'd like. Actually, let's put milk on it to see if that brings out some of the cookie butter spices that I'm looking for here. Let us try cookie butter cereal from Great Value in milk. All right, it did help a little. I am definitely tasting a cookiness to this. I definitely taste the molasses. I wonder if there's a honey too that I'm tasting. But that butter flavor, this isn't Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This is Buttered Toast Crunch is what this is. Let me give it one last try. It's a good balance of flavors. It's very sweet, very buttery, and has the right amount of salt. So I'm a big fan of that. Now, let me warn you of this. Only about 2 or 3 bites in, it's already beginning to go soggy. Pretty common if you're thinking about a Golden Grahams or a Cinnamon Toast Crunch style cereal. But you better enjoy this quick. This is definitely a cereal where I'm interested in tasting what it did to the milk. Let's give that a try. Yum. Really yummy, buttery, little tiny bit of salt in the milk. It is fantastic cereal milk. I know not everybody is a cereal milk drinker, but I am, and this would go down smooth. As far as ratings, I got to give Great Value credit where credit is due. I would say this is, to me, a 4.5. It is a home run in the world of Great Value cereals. I don't think they've gotten even close to a 4.5 in the past. If you are looking for a fall flavored cereal, this gets pretty close. So you should run out to a Walmart to get yourself a box. Well, friends, we have done it all. We talked, we ate, we discovered the secret ingredient to a great cereal is butter. For now, that's enough. If you want to try today's cereals for yourself, they were released just a few weeks ago exclusively, again, at Walmart. So you can try to grab them there. Now listen, if you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment with what cereal we should look at together in a future episode. Until then, never be soggy, my friends. Bye-bye.